I got 10. And you know what? I'm going to ride with hashtag Fade Neil on that one. You know what? I got to ride with hashtag Fade Neil on this one. So I might go on a run. I might be just kind of, it won't be Fade Neil. I'll just be calling it hashtag fucking Tag Along Neil.
Right, Tag Along Neil. No, he likes New England to outright win this game.
You know what? I'm going to take that one.
Okay.
I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take the New England. Well, no, not outright.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. I was actually looking to see, like, as far as how I had that lined up. No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back to this week 4. Finally, it's a week 4 here. We're kind of getting a little bit of a deciphering who's who and what is what.
We are.
So
it's another struggle, though, again.
The book is kicking our ass, though. I mean, the book is kicking everybody's ass. I mean, that's pretty much... Like, we're both right around 50%, like I'm at 51% or so. I think
I'm
about
at 50, right at 50.
So I think, this is pretty much where the book wants you. They want you to wear either side. They're getting you, one way or another.
Right. I mean, I didn't have a terrible, god-awful week last week, but it was just, I was 500.
Yeah,
8-8 on the spread, 7-9 on the over-under, 7-9 on the money line.
Yeah, it was a brutal week. But, you know what? Like I said, I'm getting the spread. I'm at now 27 and 22 against the spread so far this season. So I feel good about that. I've got a little bit of a grasp, like I think. But right when you think you know, you don't know anymore.
Right.
You just don't know. All right, so welcome back, everybody. Again, we're going to get this party started off. Shout out to Director Dave for keeping us up on the ones and twos. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, add to the comment section.
Yep.
Shout out to True on the Track, keeping us going with those beats.
And Dave just missing on his parlay.
Oh, yeah, one of those dumbass picks. It wasn't
missing.
so dumb. It was close. That was real close.
Jalen Hurts let him down.
Yeah, Saquon's been going crazy, man. Saquon's been going nuts.
The Eagles pulling that game out. I mean, with the way the Saints defense had dominated.
Oh, yeah, the Saints just couldn't get anything going offensively.
They could not.
So shout out to the Eagles defense, or basically holding them down and giving them the opportunity to get back in that and win that game. So. All right, so what do we got as far as going on locally wise here?
The hockey preseason games started over the weekend. So far, the Blades have played 2. They're 0-2. But to me, hockey preseason is a lot like NFL. You see a lot of young guys. Right. Guys are predominantly not going to be on the team come start of the season.
Potential call-ups, maybe.
Yeah, you've got goalies that switch out every period. I mean, so... But hockey has started. I mean, you're less than 3 weeks away from regular season action, so it's coming.
I'll see you around Christmas. Yeah,
the Cardinals, they're done. Their season's done. They've got 6 games left. Wait till next year, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully, we have a good core of young talent. It's just you got to do something with that old pitching. The pitching is ancient.
Yeah, the pitching's ancient. You'll see what happens. I mean, we'll still be at opening day no matter what next year.
We'll be there.
That's just how it goes. I mean, gotta love the Cardinals that way. All right,
let's dive into some football this week. We got a good game kicking off, a division game kicking off on Thursday night football, Dallas at the Giants.
If you see a little bit of the pain in my face, watching my beloved Cowboys look like this once again. I mean, and this is like kind of same old, and right now I think it's maybe a cross between Dan Quinn personnel with Mike Zimmer's philosophy on defense. I mean, they're just kind of getting ran through right now. I mean, it's kind of tough to see. I mean, and the Giants look good against the Browns, but the Browns are the Browns right now.
Yeah, the Browns are the Browns.
I mean, the Browns are the Browns right now. So, I mean, the only team they beat is the 0-3 Jaguars. So.
And getting away from Jerry's Field, it might work with. They're 0-2. Yeah. They're 0 for their last 3 and just getting blown out at home.
Yeah, they might need like a couple of little hiatus from Jerry World, I think, for a little bit.
So with saying that, who do you like?
Right now, I mean, I like the Cowboys, actually. They've been strong against the Giants the last few times they played them. I mean, pretty much the last 10 games or so, they pretty much dominated those games. They're 5.5-point favorites on the road. I like them to cover that 5.5 and obviously hit the money line. And the over-under I got was 45.5.
Okay, I have 45, and then I have Giants at +6.
Okay, you got +6.
So I'm going to take the Giants.
Okay.
Give me the 6 points, but I do like the Cowboys to win this game, and I like the over.
Okay. All right, so either way, if I hit this, I mean, I got to get the 6 points anyway. So,
right.
But I like the over as well, though, at 45.5. All right, so next up we got the Bengals at the Panthers. The Panthers who came on strong with the Red Rocket.
Wow.
The Red Rocket looked good out there, baby.
319 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. 27 to 39.
I like this team as far as weapons-wise.
They do have the weapons.
They got the weapons. Deontay Johnson. You got Adam Thielen still out there. You got solid pros. The running backs, Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard. There's a lot to work with there.
But this Cincinnati team's reeling at 0-3 now.
Yeah, that was a tough loss.
That was a tough loss to Washington.
Lost to Washington on Monday night. That was a tough loss, man.
I actually think they probably get their first win of the season here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of leaning the same way. You got the little shine with Andy Dalton. Now they got some tape out on him. Okay, we remember this guy.
Yeah, we know who this guy is.
Especially being the Bengals. They got a long file on Andy Dalton film back in their facility. So, I think, but with that being said, I still think the Panthers are going to actually cover the 4.5 points that I have.
I got it at 4.
Yeah, you had it at 4. So I like the Panthers to cover the 4.5, and I like the Bengals to win this game outright, and I like the over at 48.5.
Okay, you like the over. I like the under in this one. I have a 48.
Okay. Yeah, I like what I saw offensively out of the Panthers with Andy Dalton, to where he could at least show that with these weapons he could actually move the ball.
Yeah, well, that ties into my touch. I've got Deontay Johnson as one of my touchdown scorers this week. So
okay, nice.
He's going off at plus 160.
Oh yeah, that's a good payout. I like that one. All right, so the next up we got the Broncos at the Jets. The Broncos with a surprising victory against the Buccaneers last week.
Dominated.
They dominated. Pretty much from beginning to end. Every time you thought the Bucs had a chance to get back in it, they pretty much pulled. Broncos got a big stop.
Bo Nix definitely had the best game of his 3-game career so far.
Sean Payton, I think, figured out how to coach him. Coaching like, okay, this is what he can do in the NFL. This is what he can't.
So I have it at 7.5 points.
Yep, I got it at 7.2.
You got this is in New York. I'd like the Jets to cover this 7.5.
You like the Jets to cover?
Yep.
I actually like the Broncos to cover this one.
You like the Broncos?
Yeah, I like the Broncos to cover this one.
Give me the over. I've got 38.5 on the over-under. I like the over and the Jets to win.
Okay, I like the over at 38.5.
Okay.
Yep.
And Jets to win, obviously.
Yeah, Jets to win. Yeah, definitely Jets to win. All right. So next up we got this is one of those, we talk about this every year. Falcons at the Saints.
Yes.
So this is one of those gambler. This is one of the hardest games always to predict, the back and forth, because no matter who the favorite is, you almost always get fooled in this game. So the Falcons is at the Saints. I like the Falcons actually to get a victory here, kind of even them way up with the Saints in this division. They're 1.5 point favorites at home. The over-under's at 42.5 when I got it at through FanDuel. So that's give me at 42.5 on the over.
Yeah, okay. We're in total agreement on that one.
Okay.
I like Atlanta to also win at home. Give me the over, and I've got it at 1.5. So.
Okay, yep. So we're about the same on that one. Exactly the same. All right. So then next up, this is surprisingly huge. Not really surprisingly. I just didn't expect the Vikings to be the team that be the top dog in the division, I guess, at this point. So the Vikings especially without Jordan Love for 2 games. So Vikings at the Packers. Or do we have Jordan Love playing this week?
He's a maybe as of right now.
Yeah, still questionable on the injury list. So I got the Packers 2.5 point favorites at home.
I have it at 3. And the over-under at 43.5.
Yep, I got the over-under at 43.5.
Well, with that being said, Malik Willis threw the ball better last week. They allowed him to throw the ball a little more last week. He had over 200 yards. I think Green Bay gets this one done at home.
I think they can, as long as they can get the running game going.
Right.
That's the main thing. They have to get the running game going, because if they don't, if Malik Willis is back on the field now with 2 games to tape on film there for him, that's going to be tough.
With their backup running back last week was out, Marshawn Lloyd, but Emmanuel Wilson. Now this kid coming off the bench and spelled Jacobs and actually had a way better game than Jacobs.
Really?
Had. So, the Green Bay definitely has to run the ball.
Yeah, I missed that one.
But Minnesota has shown that they've come to play this year.
Yeah, their defense. Like I said, they've come tough the last couple of weeks.
But I think Green Bay ultimately gets this one done at home, and give me the under at 43.5.
Okay, so I'm taking the under too as well, and I think Green Bay's going to get it done at home as well too.
Okay.
All right, so next up we got another interdivision rivalry. We got the Jaguars at the Texans, the lowly Jaguars that are 0-3 right now.
Right.
this is do or die on that season.
Houston didn't look good last week either.
Houston didn't, but I mean, again, that was against Minnesota, though. I mean, so Minnesota's made it like a couple teams look good, offenses look bad the last couple
So
weeks.
I've got 7 points here and an over-under of 45.5.
See, I had 7 yesterday when I look at this one, and I saw it drop down to 6.5 here through FanDuel.
Gotcha.
So, but I actually like the Jaguars to cover that 6.5.
I like that.
Yeah, I like them to cover that 6.5. With the Texans still pulling out the victory on the money line, and then also going the over-under. I like the over at 45.5.
Yep, we agree on that one too.
All right. So next up, we got the Steelers at the Colts.
Yeah, the disappointing Colts so far. That passing offense has been
atrocious. It's been rough. I mean, they were able to pull out the victory because, I don't know, Caleb Williams, he's still a rookie. We got a long way to go to see. But, he had some bad reads throughout that game.
Yeah.
They were some really, really bad reads. Now the Colts are playing against the Steelers defense. It's a stingy Steeler defense.
Yes, they are. I like Pittsburgh to go in and win this one in Indianapolis.
You know what? I'm actually on the same boat with you, man. I just, off of what I've seen out of Indianapolis defense right now, Jonathan Taylor's going to have a hard time getting going against the Steelers defense. They start pressuring, and we've seen some of the decisions Anthony Richardson's made so far with getting pressured. So, nobody puts pressure on them like the Steelers. So.
Now, Jaylen Warren is possibly out for this game, but you have Cordell Patterson backing up Najee Harris. So Pittsburgh should have no trouble running the ball like they're in.
Oh, yeah. And then finding ways to use Cordell Patterson. He's a sneaky good weapon.
like the under in this one at 39.5.
I'm right with you. That's another one we're in agreement with. All right, so hopefully, that's a good sign.
Right,
no kidding. On some of this shit. All right, so let's go. Rams at the Bears. In Chicago.
The surprising Rams getting it done last week.
That was a tough victory. They had to battle back on that one. They were down by 2 scores late. They battled back. The St. Louis boy, Kyron Williams, he went off. 3 TDs.
And the Bears throwing the ball 51 times last week. That cannot happen.
They've got to run the ball, man. They've got to.
Why sign DeAndre Swift if you're not at least going to put him out there?
You got 3 running backs. You got DeAndre Swift. You got Rashad Johnson. You got Khalil Herbert. Yeah, you've got way too many backs to continually throw the ball, especially with a rookie. That when you see he threw in a triple coverage at least 4 or 5 times that game. When I sat there watching it, I kept saying, I was like, how many times is he going to keep throwing a triple coverage and this shit not get picked? And when it did get picked up, it's like, are you surprised? There was no surprise at all. But with that being said, they're in Chicago here. I actually think they're going to pick up a victory here.
Okay, you think Chicago's got this one?
Yeah, because Chicago's a tough defense. they're coming in. It's I don't know what the weather is going to be like in Chicago, but you're always going to get that wind factor and everything going into that. And so, I like Chicago at home. To actually cover the 2.5, being the favorites, obviously. And then I like the over at 40.5 points.
All right, I like the over. I've got it at 41, but I still like the over. But I like the Rams to go in Chicago.
You like the Rams to get this one? I was kind of leaning that way, but this was one of those tough ones.
Yeah, this is a close one. Will I be surprised if Chicago wins? No.
Yeah, I kind of went with that was more of a hunch more than anything else when I looked matchup-wise. I was like, all right, let's see what happens here. So. All right, next up, I got the Eagles at the Buccaneers. Eagles at the Buccaneers.
Going on the road, picking up a nice victory over the Saints last week. Hard-fought victory. And then Tampa Bay losing that game.
Oh, yeah. That was just... Yeah, that was a tough one. I needed a touchdown from Mike Evans to complete my parlay. I just needed 1 TD. That's just how the season's been going so far.
So I've got Philadelphia as a favorite, minus 2.5, and 44 is the over-under.
Yeah. Okay, I got 44.5.
44.5.
Yep, I got 44.5. All right, so who do you like in this one?
I like Philly to cover this 2.5, go into Tampa Bay and win, and score the over.
Okay. Well, I like the over in this game, but I actually like Tampa Bay to have a bounce-back game.
Right.
They've seen them match up well against Philadelphia. They've kind of had their number the last few times they played them. So let's see what happens in this matchup here because, this has been a tough one the last few times, and Tampa Bay's pretty much kind of dominated this one.
Right.
So let's see. And it's not in Philly. It's down in Tampa. So, I kind of like Tampa in this game. All right, so then next up we got the Patriots at the 49ers.
So Neil texted me this morning, and he goes, is hashtag Fade Neil still a thing? Because if it is, I want New England in this game. So I'm like, you're nuts. It's plus 10. I do think New England can cover that 10 points. Give me the over at 39.5 and San Francisco to win at home. All
right, well, so you had 9.5?
10.
I got 10. Okay, I got 10. Yeah, so I got 10. And You know what? I'm gonna ride with hashtag Fade Neil on that one. You know what? I gotta ride with hashtag Fade Neil on this one. So I might go on a run. I might be just kind of. It won't be Fade Neil. I'll just be calling it hashtag fucking Tag Along Neil.
Right. Tag Along Neil. No, he likes New England to outright win this game.
You know what? I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take the New England. Well, no, not outright.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was actually looking to see as far as how I had that lined up. No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not.
But give me New England to cover that 10 points.
Yeah, I want New England to cover the 10. But no, hell no. No, to win the game, no thank you. No, the 49ers, they're going to win that one at home. I think they got to bounce back, and they got to keep themselves in playoff contention, especially with the Rams winning last week. I like the under at 49.5. I think it's going to be an ugly kind of, knockdown, drag-out game.
Okay.
All right, so the next up, we got the Commanders at the Cardinals. The Commanders who had a huge victory last week.
Oh, the surprising Commanders right now.
Commanders. Jaden Daniels looks nice.
He looks nice.
Jaden Daniels looks really nice. I mean, the way he's running an offense, man, he's running it smooth, silky smooth.
It's a bummer that we heard Eckler's going to be out for this game. I mean, that obviously takes away one of his backfield weapons, his check down guy. But I think Washington goes into Arizona and wins this game.
Okay. So, all right, I think, actually I have – so I have this game going out. What did you have this at? When I had it at 3.5.
I have it at 3.5.
Okay, I have it at 3.5. Washington being dogs. So I actually like Washington to cover this. I can see this being a last-minute field goal game coming down to the wire. Cardinals getting a drive down, getting a victory. Okay. And then I like the over. I had it at 50.5.
I have it 50.5. I like the under in this one.
Okay. Yeah, you like the under? See, I mean, what I've seen out of the two offenses, I've seen a lot of explosive plays, and so more than what we've seen in the NFL this year so far. So. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's going to be down there in the desert, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, what do you got next?
All right, we got the Browns at the Raiders.
Oh, Browns at the Raiders.
Browns at the Raiders.
This is probably the least exciting game. Second least exciting game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, just the Browns, man. I mean, we can go back over and over again. That Deshaun Watson contract is going to come back to haunt them for a while. I mean, it's killing him right now anyway. Who knows? I mean, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, so maybe figure out something. Nick Chubb comes back and gets, inject something in the running game. I need him to come back for my fantasy team. I went on a limb in both leagues.
Right. I see him sitting there.
Just to stash him.
But I think the Raiders get this one done at home. Yeah. Cleveland's just a mess right now. It's -2. They cover that. And give me the over. I have it at 37.
Okay, I had it at 37.5. I like the over, too, as well. And also give me the Raiders to win this game and cover it at home.
All right, we're in agreement on that.
All right, next up we got the Chargers at the Chiefs. Now, is Justin Herbert playing here? That's
the biggest question. Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. But I've got it at 8 points.
Today. He's out of the boot?
These games are usually really tight.
Oh, yeah.
It's a division game, so give me the Chargers to cover that 8 points. Kansas City, obviously, the win, but under 39.
See, I had it at 8.5. See, I like him covering the 8.5 points. Yeah, I like him covering 8.5 points, and I like the Chiefs, obviously, to win the game outright. I love the over at 39.5. Yeah, I like the over. Okay. All right. So next up, we got the Bills at the Ravens. It's going to be, I don't know.
This is probably game of the week, I would say.
This probably could, because, I mean, this is do or die time for the Ravens, too, as far as making that move with Pittsburgh being 3-0. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've got to make a move here in the division. So, obviously I have a...
But is Buffalo really this good? Or is Josh Allen just taking it upon himself and saying, hey, I know we're short this year on certain aspects of our team, but come on, boys, hop on my back.
Josh Allen's been good. They got a lot of good weapons. He's spread the ball around all over the place. The defense
isn't playing bad.
I mean, you got Von Miller resurgence. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's kind of found his new breath of life after a year after that, healthy after that injury. You know what I mean? So he got his legs back underneath him. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game, but I mean, I think right now it's in Baltimore.
It is.
That's the biggest thing for me. It's in Baltimore. I think, they're kind of finding their rhythm with the running game, kind of getting that two-back system, got Patrick Ricard in there more. They had to do the things I was talking about earlier, getting Lamar Jackson under center. Those are the things that are going to open up that offense just so much more for them. And, I mean, you saw Derrick Henry, he just went crazy against the Cowboys. So, we got the...
I tried not to watch.
Oh, man, it was brutal. So, I mean, I like the Ravens actually to win this game. I like them to actually obviously cover the spread, and I like the over at 46.5.
All right, I agree with you. I'm going to go out on the limb and say Buffalo goes into Baltimore and really sticks a dagger into their season. Twist that knife.
That could be tough. That'll be definitely tough.
I mean, I just don't know Harbaugh looked a little lost, on the sidelines last week, even though they won that game. Like
it's so. I mean, this is like preseason right now, Bobby. Though I mean, like this is like week 4. This is kind of like your.
But there's always that one team every year that's supposed to be really good that turns out to be really bad. And Baltimore might be that team.
I mean, you always get that, but I mean, I kind of liked what I saw in the running game last week. I mean, if they keep doing what they did running the ball, I mean, as far as like having that 2-back system with Patrick Ricard, I mean, because. You're starting to see that fullback lead back being like coming back in the game. I mean, because if these guys like when they're talking Mel Kiper talking about getting rid of the cover 2, like no, you just run against that shit.
Right.
You get 2 backs in there. You go old school football. You get your 2 wideouts out there, light a tight end up, and you just go pound that ball. You get a little bit of motion action in there, and make sure that you get just like force them to bring those safeties up. And so
4 yards, baby. That's all you need.
And then you get somebody like Lamar Jackson where you can play action boot. I mean, boom, it's a done deal. But either way, so I like the Ravens to get that game. So, I kind of feel like they're kind of finding their little rhythm right now. All right. So next up here, we got the Titans at the Dolphins. We got this doubleheader Monday night thing again.
This is probably the stink game of the week. Right?
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, especially because, you never know. We got a little Tyler Snoop Huntley's going to be the starting quarterback.
Did they announce it?
I think so.
As of earlier today, Mike McDaniels hadn't said anything.
So. I think it's going to be Snoop Huntley. I think there's no way he'd like Snoop, but just because of this line, the way the line is set right now, the 1.5. I got the Dolphins favored by 1.5 at home. That's got that to me. That screams Snoop Huntley is playing this game. There's no way I think with Skylar Thompson from what we saw last week that the spread would be this close.
Tim Boyle,
or Tim Boyle. I mean, I think the Titans would be favored if anything else.
You would think so.
So. And we see Will Levis keeps giving up the ball. That's always a wild card with any gambling game. And this is one I wouldn't really touch. Like personally, with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not putting any action on this.
No, I wouldn't touch anything with a 10-foot pole with this game. But I mean, I like the Titans actually to go in there and get their first win, just because the quarterback game is uncertain. Dolphins look a little bit more improved on offense, but obviously with them covering, they're going to actually hit the over as well. I think at 36.5 points.
All right, I actually do think Tennessee wins this game as well. But I like the under in this one. I just don't think the offense is good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, we'll see. I think one of them is going to get a little bit of an outburst.
Believe me, I need it to be there because Tyreek Hill, #1 draft pick for me. It's turning out to be a dud so far.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts bad. I know. I was thinking about that all year. Like, anybody who drafted Tyreek Hill, I didn't realize
that was me.
That's tough. Woo. All right, next up, this might be one of the games of the week. Actually, though,
this could be the game.
Seahawks at Lions, and thank God it did. Like the first Titans and Dolphins game, like was the only Monday night game that would have been terrible.
That would have been stinking.
So, like with the Seahawks and Lions being up like that, that's a big kind of boost to the Monday night schedule. So,
I've got it at 4 right now.
You got it at 4. Yep. See, I got it at 3.5, and it actually was at 4.5, and it dropped down to 3.5 earlier this afternoon. And so I had the Seahawks coming to Detroit. I like the Seahawks actually to go in there and cover that spread, but I like the Lions to win in a close one.
Yeah, I think the Lions win this one.
I think they'll win that in a close one. I like the over at 46.5 points.
Yep, I like the over as well. Yeah, I think the Lions actually cover that 4 points, though. I think they beat by a touchdown.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been an exciting season so far. I mean, I think we're going to see these offenses open up a little bit, but I actually like defensive football. I'm glad things have kind of caught back up. We're not seeing this little flag looking game where guys just running down the field, freelancing and high stepping with no defense on them. So
that Lions trick play last week was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, that old hooking ladder, that was nice.
You don't see that too often.
Oh yeah, I mean it was executed so perfectly too. But Sam Laporta, don't you have Sam Laporta?
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Sam Laporta.
Yeah, that takes a hit right there. And it's just, I mean, that's the shit about football, man. You never know. I mean, like from a when you're going to lose guys like that. I mean, there's some random play that looked like it should have been, we're celebrating, having a good time, and you're starting tight end.
Well, Deontay Smith, when he got, did you see the video where the guy hit him after his helmet was already off?
Yeah, I mean, that's ugly.
Brutal. Okay, so I've got a 3-leg touchdown parlay for you guys right here. Deontay Johnson for the Panthers. I think Dalton and him are going to be the hookup down in that offense. I mean, he caught 9 balls for 128 yards last week and a touchdown. So Deontay Johnson, give me Robinson Jr. with Eckler going down. He's going to be their primary back. I'm even in passing down, so anytime touchdown for him. And give me Josh Allen to run in against Baltimore, because Baltimore's only giving up 3.4 yards a rush right now. So if Cooks can't get anything going, you know how they like to get out on the outsides. And so that's going off at plus 1042 right now. And that's only a 3 touchdown parlay. So
all right, here. So I got one for you. I got CeeDee Lamb in a bounce back game on this Thursday night game here. I got to give myself a little bit of reason. I always got to get myself a little up in the early part of the
watch
season, man, just to watch the Thursday night game. So I like CeeDee Lamb actually to get 2 TDs.
Oh.
I like Devin Singletary anytime touchdown. Dak Prescott rushing over 7.5 yards. That's a plus 21.51 parlay there.
Prescott over 7.5?
Over 7.5 yards rushing.
Okay.
Yeah, over 7.5 yards rushing. So CeeDee Lamb in the end zone twice, Devin Singletary in the end zone once. You know, and then I had another backup because that was actually only a $50 bet. So that was a $50 bet that if you pay that off from that, it pays like $1,075.
Okay.
All right. So then I had another one I threw on there just for random because I said so a lot of times that's my budget I usually go through about $100. You know, is like at least my minimum, especially early in the season.
Yeah, I only hit 3 games last week.
Yeah. It's been a rough one for me. I'm still over. I'm sitting on the snide right now. All right. So the next one I had was Dak Prescott going over 7.5 yards rushing. CeeDee Lamb getting 2 TDs. I'm riding a lot on CeeDee Lamb going off just because I feel like, the whole bad press, I gave bad energy on the sidelines, got to be a leader. If he fumbled the ball, blah, blah, blah. And it's against the Giants. He always plays well against the Giants. I can see him going off for the 2 TDs. And I think that just Dak Prescott on one scramble gets a 7.5-yard gain, at least. And then Daniel Jones for a sneak-in touchdown there. So same bet, basically riding on either one of those two getting in the end zone. Gotcha. So that's a plus 4,600, $50 bet, pays $2,300.
Nice. Very nice. What you got, Dave? All right, Director Dave's dumb pick of the week. Sound us off, Jason.
All right, we got Jamar Chase, Brian Robinson Jr., Breece Hall, Josh Allen, Jaden Reed, and Brandon Ayuk is anytime touchdown scores at plus 85.92. That means $100 will get you $85,000 or $8,592. $8,592.
You've been hitting more of the touchdown guys than I have, so the fact that you have 2 of my guys, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so we just got to go. Just go me. That's what I say. Go me. See what happens. All right. Well, that's all I got for you this week, everybody.
That's all I got, everybody.
Let's go ahead and get ready to get this season started again for week 4. Week 4 is coming on up. I know we got baseball playoffs coming up and all that stuff. We'll dabble into that a little bit next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Once everybody's
get through this
up.
weekend. Because this is it. It's final weekend of the season.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. And it's all full go football and all your fall sports. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace. Yeah.